Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and let's get into it. My name is Vicky. I'm going to be doing a bit of a recap for the week here on the Dow Jones, the SPY, the Triple Qs, the IWM. We're going to be taking a look at Market Cipher if any new signals have been printing, and yeah, so let's get into it right now. Obviously, not a surprise. The markets were down today once again, but again, a little bit of a tidbit here, a little bit of information. Be careful watching the news and trading with the news. This morning, the Wall Street Journal posted something in regards to. Let me just take a look here. Get on the 10-minute chart. They posted something about uh, peace talks or a ceasefire starting with Israel and Israel and what's it called, Palestine. And the Wall Street Journal, posted that on Twitter, and then the market gapped up, right? And not only that, we had Amazon earnings, so market gapped up. Buy, 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 buy. Earnings, are good. Amazon's gonna save the whole stock market, even though five out of the seven Magnificent Seven are down. That doesn't matter. Keep buying. And then you know what happened? The post was deleted, and right after the market closed, news came out that thousands of Israeli soldiers were entering Gaza. So that just gives you an idea of what the news is doing. They're just manipulating the stock market at this point, so don't listen to it. Just trade off the charts, and yeah, just do whatever you want. If you guys trade with the news, then sure, if it works for you. But I really doubt it. And yeah, so let's move on here. Let's take a look at what's going on. We're going to be taking a look at our bullish scenario and our bearish scenario, which is, in my opinion, the most likely one at this point. So overall, we had a very big drop this week. Almost like every single day was a red day, and we've fallen way below the 200-day moving average now. The bulls are obviously still in denial at this point, still buying the dip, still buying calls, and that's probably why the VIX is so suppressed. Still, even though the VIX is spiking up, it keeps getting pushed down with the amount of buying. People are not fearful still, even with all this big decline. This is just another dip before we go to new all-time highs. All this news doesn't matter. All the economic news, economic conditions, nothing matters basically to the bulls right now. And we are eventually going to get a bounce. We are just entering the buy area right now, but we can go lower. We can actually even gap down on Monday morning. We can gap down to even like a percent or 50 basis points. It really depends on how bad the news is over the weekend. If the war intensifies and other countries get involved, then that'll have a big effect. But when we take a look at Market Cipher on the daily time frame, there's no signs of any bottom yet. The momentum waves are extending lower and lower and lower. The 4-hour time frame had a potential green dot signal, of a potential bottom here. And again, everyone was getting so excited. Double bottom, this is it. We're going to new highs. But again, I've been reiterating that the trend is shifting. The bigger time frames, like the monthly time frame, printed a red dot and bearish dual band strength index numbers. This is a B wave high, in my opinion, and we are going to extend lower. Now we have 3 days left. In 3 days, 3 trading days, I believe, left in this month. There's going to be Monday, Tuesday, and I think Wednesday. And then after that, the month is going to close, and we're most likely going to confirm now with a red dot on the SPY, on the triple Qs, the IWM, and the Dow Jones. Okay, and the IWM, again, the worst one of them all. We'll get to it in just a few minutes, but let's just keep going and taking a look at the SPY. And again, a lot of people have been following me now, obviously, because I'm reiterating and telling people that we are going to go lower, and it keeps happening and happening. And the buy the dippers and all the big YouTubers keep buying, saying I'm buying this. I don't care. This is just fear mongering crap. Nothing's wrong. Keep buying. Don't stop buying. And then there you go. And you just roll over. And Same thing on Twitter. A lot of people are just getting it very, very emotionally triggered by any people who keep posting bearish posts because we keep going lower. And they're not willing to take profits, and they're gonna close out either at a loss or at break even once we get back to the October lows. But anyways, we're gonna be looking here now at the bullish case, which is that this is gonna be our bottom. We are going to get a bounce eventually, unless we get a gap down and it turns into a market crash. But anything that in that case, if you're already short, then that's great for you. But if you're long, then you're going to be screaming. But yeah, overall, right now, if we do get a bounce, which could happen next week, then in my opinion, when we come back up and we retest this trend line, that is either going to tell us that this could be, still massive resistance and we're not able to break it and we're going to go for one leg lower, or this is going to be the start of a wave one, right? And then we're going to come back in two and retest this trend line, and then we're going to go to new highs, right? Again, I see this as a least likely scenario. The more likely scenario, in my opinion, is that we're going to come up. All right, so let me just draw this trend line here. I don't have it on this chart. We're just going to come up here. So the October lows, the March lows, and now we are here. There we go. And so essentially, we're going to, keep falling just a little bit. We are going to extend the fifth wave, and we're either going to come back up and retest this trend line and confirm it as resistance and then come back down in a wave three. Okay? But if we come back up and we can break it, right? It doesn't mean that we can't break it. We can break it. We can even come above the 200 and an extended wave two. And we can even rally to like 440, right? Even to these levels here, and you'd still be bearish because the bears would still technically be in control. If we get this rally here, this would be an amazing short opportunity in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get it. Anything can happen. But if we do get this, then and we get rejected, and you see that we're still deep in red money flow, and the weekly time frame is really starting to shift its trend and its momentum already. You can see now the SPY has a 13 and a -5. Triple Qs have a 13 and a -5. Dow Jones, the diamonds have an 11 and a -3, and the IWM have a 10 and a -1. And again, no signs of any bottom yet. So again, just keep that into account when you're buying the dip and thinking we're going to new highs anytime now. There's no bottom in sight just yet. So let's keep going. So again, this would lead to a pretty big waterfall sell-off after that, and we would take out the October lows. This wave three is usually your crash wave, and then you'll come back down, and then if you manage to hold the October lows, then that'll be your wave three bottom, and then you'll bounce in wave four, come back up, and then you'll come back down in wave five in the potentially extended fifth wave, and that'll be the end of your C wave, right? And after that, you could start a whole new cycle, unless this is the super cycle top, and you won't see these highs for decades. But again, we'll take it day by day and trade by trade. This is obviously too far out to anticipate anything. And right now we are entering the support area. But again, there's no fear. There's almost no fear. The VIX is only at 21. Everyone keeps buying the dip. Look at the mega caps, right? The Nvidia. People are buying and buying and buying. They ended green on the day. Even with the market red as is, they were buying. They were buying, and they don't see anything wrong in the market. They just want to buy because they think that they think that we're gonna do this any time now. These stocks are gonna just start mooning for no reason. So this is the permeable delusional theory that we're just gonna keep going up. But right now there are some really big breaks in like the mega cap stocks, which by the way have been holding up the entire market. Tesla has taken out its 200 and it's taken out its 210 pivot, so that's very significant. Meta has started to break down as well, and it's actually come back up and failed to recapture the 100-day and confirmed that as resistance. And I believe there's an upsloping trend line as well. I don't have it drawn yet, and I don't want to draw it right now because I do like to get my trend lines as accurate as possible. But I think we retested one of those as well, and we failed to confirm that. We failed to confirm. Oh, there we go. It's one of these or something like that. we failed to come back up and essentially, you know, deny like this breakdown here, but we confirmed it as resistance, so we're most likely gonna keep rolling over here. Google, same thing, very similar thing. Again, look at that, buy the dipper is just loading up, buy. Again, if we keep going down there and we break below the 200, they're gonna be in shock and they're gonna be panic selling at that point. That's probably when the SPY and the triple Qs are going to bottom out, and that's when we'll get our big reversal back up, right? So all these people buying the dip need to get flushed out. Microsoft had great earnings, beat on all metrics, and by the way, all the Magnificent Seven have beat on all metrics, and some of them are breaking down just on guidance. So Microsoft popping up on earnings, giving back all of its gains on the day after, a couple of days after, and now it's just chopping sideways here. So I don't see too many good things for Microsoft. I think that was essentially your top here. I haven't done an Elliott wave count for Microsoft, but it'll follow essentially the SPY in the traditional markets. Apple actually looks terrible at the moment. It fell below its 200, and I mean I think the wave 3 has not even started. I think it's only beginning, and you're gonna see that on earnings that's coming up in any week. Believe it's next week. Yeah, next week Apple has earnings, so we'll have to see if Apple earnings are good or bad. But if they're bad, then this could really start the capitulation of the market. But we'll have to see. Maybe Apple can save the markets. Maybe that's the bounce wave that we're waiting for, right? So we'll take it day by day, and then you see Amazon had great earnings as well and good guidance. So again, finally a good one, and Amazon popped up on earnings, and it actually was up significantly. It was up like 8-9% at one point, but it closed at 6.83% up, and it was closing underneath the 20-day moving average. Okay, so that's pretty significant. You got some big breaks in the market, not only in these stocks but in the indices as well. You're breaking past some major support here. You broke past this pivot. And again, when the people are just such in denial right now, I think they are going to get a wake-up call when we potentially gap down on Monday. My buy area was 408. I was trying to kind of potentially get a long today as a day trade around 408, 406, but we didn't reach there, so I wouldn't long here anymore. So because I think we may gap down on Monday and keep the sell-off going, so we'll probably bottom out either Monday or Tuesday, sometime then. But it'll be lower. I think we'll go lower. Maybe we'll hit 400, like an even number, something like that. But you are getting into some support here, right? You're going to get into some support. So don't be surprised if we bounce up and if you start buying puts now, then you're making a mistake, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look at the IWM now. Okay, so the IWM has officially taken out its October lows. A lot of people are very bullish. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, putting out their calls as well. I was watching one back in July, and once we were, back at these highs, essentially he was calling for new all-time highs for the Russell, and he's just getting loaded up on calls, and this is it, and we're only going to go up here. And I mean, it didn't play out very well because you could see the Russell has collapsed since then, and it's lots of delusion and denial, and right now we're down 17% since a lot of people got long there, and now they're saying that it's okay, it's just a triple bottom, and we're gonna keep going up. But you've taken out the lows now. You've not only confirmed it on the daily, but you've confirmed it on the weekly, right? The weekly time frame, and the monthly closes in 3 days. And if you look at the weeklies and the monthly charts, they look very bad at the moment. So there's still more pain to come. If anything, I would be looking at maybe 155 or 150 for potential long position. Right around that area would be maybe a potential long, but I wouldn't even get in front of the Russell 2000 right now. I think you got more to go. Looking at the market cipher, you take a look at the weekly. You're entering red money flow here once again, and you're getting back into it on the. Actually, you're not getting back into it, but you might be entering it on the monthly time frame, which is very significant. I don't think any index has ever entered red money flow on the monthly. Actually, we did enter it right here back in the 2000s, but that was basically near the bottom. but we'll have to see because we've had such thick green money flow. But overall, I don't really look at the monthly green money flow. I pay attention to the weekly and the daily. All right, so sorry, my window was open there. Okay, let me get back to it here. All right, let's take a look at the dollar. Dollar was very strong this week. Lots of green money flow still. We got a green dot confirmation on this market cipher B here. So you might have a potential bottom in. Looking at the weekly, you've had 2 weeks in a row now of strong dual band strength index numbers trying to push down the price of the dollar or the DXY, and you had a 15 and you had a red dot confirmation here. But again, the dollar is resilient. It is not going lower. You went down below the 20-day moving average, and you know what? You closed above it on the daily and the weekly. And then the weekly, if you take a look at the weekly candle, it is consolidating at the highs. And usually when something is consolidating at the highs like this, it is getting ready to go higher. So the dollar will most likely go to 109 to 111, in my opinion, and that is going to put additional pressure on the indices in the indexes. And this is why a potential crash scenario is getting more probable and more probable, right? And that's why you could potentially see why Bill Ackman maybe closed his long position, or sorry, short position on the bonds, because yields could crash. And the reason why yields could crash at any moment is because we could get a stock market crash. And if you get a stock market crash, then you're going to have a flight to safety. And what happens when you get a flight to safety? People fly into the dollar, and they also fly into bonds. People buy bonds. So you can have the bonds spike up significantly. And that's what people don't understand. See, bonds can go up 30%. And look how oversold we are right now on the TLT. At any moment, we could get a huge spike up in the TLT, like 30%, 15% in only a couple of weeks, in a matter of days. You can have that move, right? It is not out of this world. And then if you look, sorry, let me just get back. If you look at the DXY here on the monthly time frame, you have another monthly candle, -5 and a 16, and you made a new high, looking very bullish. We're going to print a new monthly candle in 3 to 4 days. So this is going to tell us if the dollar is heading higher on a potentially bigger cycle as well. Okay, so you need to take these things into account and just stop, watching the buy the dippers videos. It's okay, everything's fine, keep buying. It's a lot of, you need to look at the chart. And I don't know if these guys are just looking at the chart or what they're doing, but overall this is not a bullish scenario. You even have gold breaking above 2,000. This is a sign of fear, right? With the dollar strengthening and gold going up, usually when the dollar goes up, gold goes down. But right now gold is going up because gold is your true fear indicator at the moment. And what you're having is the VIX being pushed down and even halted. The VIX was halted on Thursday or Wednesday or something like that. I don't remember. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. The VIX was halted for trading, and then it was right before, like, the IWM was about to take out its lows too. The IWM almost took out its lows that day, Thursday. It was just on the edge. Today it finally took it out. We'll have to see what happens on Monday, but it doesn't look good at the moment. And maybe we'll get good news and we'll form a bottom and we'll go back up and bounce back, but I don't see that as a very likely scenario right now. Okay, so I think that covers it. I don't really, have that much to add. Be patient, be careful, and if you guys want to join, I created a Discord now for hedge line trading. Some people have been coming in and talking. I did post some of the trades setups that I'm doing. So if you guys want to join, the link's there. I'll add more channels and stuff like that, and maybe a bot that'll manage everything. But a couple of you have joined so far. Thank you for 100 subscribers. We've reached 100 subscribers. It means people are actually watching these things, and they're probably using them as informative videos to potentially save themselves from losing a lot of money. And I mean, it's been working out very well for me. I've saved tons of money by being in puts and shorts when I saw us cross into red money flow on the SPY. And if you're watching this and you're heavy long, just be careful. You know what you're doing. I announced right here where I'm getting short. right around the highs or flipping, and now we're trending down, right? The red money flow is starting to curve up a little bit, right? It means maybe we might be near a potential bottom, but I think we have months and weeks ahead of red money flow. And again, I get a lot of people telling me, November rally, year-end rally, seasonality. It's just gonna go up. Why are you short? Why are you short? Close your short. Get long. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna do what the chart tells me. I'm not gonna be delusional and just go with the hype and what CNBC tells me to do, right? Anyways, do what you want. Overall, I'm doing amazing. I'll be looking to set up the service to share my trades inside the Discord as well. For those of you who want to get access to what I'm doing with my put calls, my stock trades as well, and my swings. And hopefully you guys have a good weekend. Don't stress. I'm not stressed. I've probably been the most relaxed I've ever been now, as I'm sitting very nicely in profits and just watching the market implode day by day. Anyways, be careful, guys. Big problems could be on the horizon. Market could crash at any time, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen next week. We could get a bounce. I'm expecting a bounce, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. If we gap down and take out some very significant levels, like if we take out the 400 level and we go past 395, I think that a stock market crash could be on the horizon, and it could be unfolding as we speak, and then we could have weeks of major panic selling. Because if you look at the financials as well, Jamie Dimon sold $135 million worth of his stock, and it's the first time it's the first time ever in 17 years of being a CEO that he sold JP Morgan stock. And if you look at the financials, they were on fire today. Not a good fire, not like a fire going up, rallying. They were literally burning up because Bank of America was down, JP Morgan went down, Goldman Sachs was down. I mean, look at these drops. Morgan Stanley down, right? And they're not just going down, but they're erasing divergence. They're going lower and lower. There's nothing stopping these things from going lower. They're insolvent. These banks are insolvent essentially, right? And people know it. People aren't stupid. Investors aren't stupid. Why would Jamie Dimon sell if everything's fine? CNBC says everything's fine. Keep buying, right? So why are we going down? Or why is he selling $135 million worth of his stock? 1 million shares is what he sold. So again, do what's best for you. You guys have a good weekend. We'll talk to you guys maybe I'll make a video Sunday night just to see what the futures are doing. But if it's not anything significant, I won't make a video. Peace.